Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my June favorites and fails. I love filming these videos and kind of doing a roundup on all of the products that I tested out that month. So this month I have some new favorites. I also have some rediscovered favorites, a couple of things that you've heard me talk about on my channel, and then also a couple of fails. And I've been testing out a bunch of drugstore products, so stay tuned because during the month of July, I'm planning on doing a lot of drugstore related videos. I'll do some like application videos where I'm actually wearing the products, maybe some wear tests, and then also some roundups like the top 10 products from specific brands. So I'm so excited. Let me know in the comment section below if there are any drugstore related videos you want to see. But during the month of July, I think I'll mainly be focusing on drugstore makeup. So for my base, I've actually been combining two of my favorite products. I think I first tried this combination back in the winter time, maybe like the end of 2019, and I haven't been wearing it very often, but these are my two go-to products and they're complete opposites. So during the month of June, I've actually been wearing them together. The first one is the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation, which is a very full coverage, very mattifying, long-wearing foundation. And the other one is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. It's very natural looking on the skin, really hydrating and just fresh looking. And it's weird that I love these two products so much because they are complete opposites. Like I feel like you really can't get more opposite when it comes to, base product formulas. But there are days where I want full coverage, days where I just want something really light and natural. But these are just perfect when you mix them together because I have just felt like this Fenty foundation has been a little bit too full coverage for me, especially if it's hot out and I just don't want to feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. So mixing this in, and I'll actually use a little bit more of this and just a smaller amount of this, has been perfect because it creates a little bit more of a natural base. You still get coverage, but it definitely adds in that more like moisturizing, fresh aspect. So even though my skin looks really matte right now, after a few hours, it just starts to wear really well because you do get the longevity of this foundation, but it's not as intense and it doesn't feel like you're wearing such a heavy full coverage foundation. So I've just been enjoying these two mixed together. You can customize them, so you can use a little bit more of the Fenty if you want more coverage, a little bit less if you want really natural coverage, and I just feel like they mix perfectly. I wear the shade 140 in the Fenty foundation and then light 7W in the ColourPop, and I feel like they're a little bit light for me. Like I've gotten a slight tan just from being outside and taking walks. So I might have to go up a shade in both of them. But for now, these two have been perfect. So I just wanted to share that combination. And you don't have to run out and buy these two products if you don't have them in your collection. You can use any full coverage foundation, any tinted moisturizer, even just a regular moisturizer. I finally picked up the Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer. I got the shade 120 Light Vanilla. And this has gotten so many amazing reviews that I wanted to try it out. And I was placing an order on the Milani website, so I did grab it. And I'm so glad that I did because I really enjoy this formula. I think the reason why I was hesitant to try this out is because I have tried their Conceal and Perfect foundation, which is a really full coverage foundation, but I just found that that one looked really heavy on my skin. So I think I kind of assumed the concealer would be the same way. And this is a full coverage concealer, but it doesn't really look heavy under the eyes. I'm wearing it today, and I don't know if you can see a difference between this and my other concealers, but I just feel like this one, it gives this whole area like a very, very smooth effect and it stays in place so well. I get really oily in this area and I know a lot of people are very dry right there. So I do need a more full coverage concealer that stays in place all day long because typically lightweight concealers, or I guess light coverage concealers, kind of wear away on me by the end of the day. So this one is perfect because the coverage is there. It has more of like this soft, velvety matte finish. I would say that it's a little bit more full coverage than the Too Faced Born This Way and a little bit more matte. So it really is a good option during the summertime if you want more of a full coverage option that just stays in place all day, and I've been loving it. So one of the videos that I have planned for next month is actually a review on the e.l.f. Plus matte line. I did purchase all of the products from that line and I've been testing them out. It's not a new line, but it is meant to be really good for people who have very oily skin. So I thought I would still review it for you guys because I did purchase the products to test them out. So this is kind of a spoiler, but this is my first fail of the month. It is the e.l.f. Plus Matte Oil Control Primer. I'll save the rest of the products for that review because I'm still testing a couple of them out, but I've made my mind up on this one and I just don't like it. I don't find that this mattifies my skin at all. In fact, when I wear this, after a few hours, my foundation starts to break down. It looks like a complete mess. And I'm kind of surprised because e.l.f. actually has this other oil control primer. It's technically a priming spray, but I tried that for the first time maybe 2 summers ago, and it's become an absolute staple in my collection. It works so well to keep my skin from getting too oily throughout the day, so I was really excited to try this one. This one feels like just any silicone type feeling primer. If you guys have tried the original Smashbox primer, or you know what, this feels like the e.l.f. mineral primer that comes in the white packaging. It feels like the exact same thing. When you first apply it, it definitely gives your skin a really, really smooth feeling. So if you struggle with really large pores or fine lines, or you just want a very smoothing primer, you might actually like it for that purpose. The only issue is that it doesn't really mattify my skin. When I apply my foundation, it goes on really nicely, but after a few hours, my foundation starts to break down. It even starts to slip around, which is the opposite of what I'm looking for because, you know, my oily skin will cause the foundation to do that anyway. So I feel like this product kind of speeds up that process. There are other products in the line that I'm enjoying, so stay tuned for that video because I will review everything and share how the products work, which ones are worth the money and which ones aren't, but this one was a fail for me. So I've been loving 2 different palettes this month. They're both from Urban Decay. One is new to me. It is the Urban Decay Naked Ultraviolet. Now I did do a full review on this palette. I'll link it below. It definitely has pros and cons. I don't think it's for everyone, and I don't think it's going to be worth the money for everyone. So if you're kind of on the fence about it, you might want to check out my review. I'll link it below. I did do 3 different looks, including the one that I'm wearing today, which was honestly so simple. But I have to say this palette kind of surprised me because I do like it more than I thought I would. I've been able to create so many looks using this, at least like 10 or 12 different looks, which is kind of crazy because when I first saw it, I didn't think it was super cohesive. The front half of the palette is a little bit more of like a warm toned peachy neutral palette, and the second half is like a cooler toned purple palette. And I would never think to include these shades together in one palette, so I really thought I would just use the purples and occasionally use the peachy neutrals. But today I've mixed like warm and cooler tones together, and I just think it's kind of fun. It pushes me to do something a little bit different. I don't usually get creative with my color combinations. I'll just stick with like one color family. Now, if you have a ton of purple eyeshadows or you want really intense, vibrant purples, this isn't going to be the palette for you. It's pretty expensive. It's a $49 palette. So I would recommend this to those of you who love the Urban Decay Naked palettes and maybe like the fact that they create more colorful palettes in a more approachable manner. Like Naked Cherry and Naked Heat just make color easy to work with. And I think that's what this palette does. The shadows blend out easily. They're not hard to work with. So if that's something you're looking for, you might enjoy this. But it surprised me. It's getting a lot of negative reviews, which I do understand in part, but I have to say, I've been loving it a lot more than I thought I would. The other palette that I've been loving is actually the Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. When I'm not wearing colorful tones or purples, I've actually been reaching for this one quite a bit. The colors in here just kind of scream summer to me, and I love like the warm toned looks you can create using this. This one has a lot more matte shadows in it than the Ultraviolet palette. It has 7 matte shadows and then 5 shimmers. And typically I don't mind if a palette has more shimmers than mattes, but when it comes to like quick and easy neutral looks, this palette comes in handy because you get a lot of your staple base matte shadows, and then you can take any one of the shimmers and place them all over the lid. So this has just been a fun palette to work with. I mean, I know at this point we all have a lot of neutrals in our collection, but there's something about this one that I like so much better than the original Naked palettes. I feel like this is an updated neutral palette, and if you like warm tones, you'll enjoy this one, but I don't find that it's overly warm toned. Like, it's not an orangey palette. It definitely has more of a bronzy brown vibe to it, but I just think it's really fun to work with. It's very easy. Again, Urban Decay's Naked formula is so great for everyday wear, or if you're new to eyeshadow or you don't want to spend a lot of time doing your eyeshadow because everything blends out so easily and so quickly. So I have been enjoying this one just as much. I guess I've really been enjoying the Ultraviolet palette because I do love purples, but this one comes in close as number 2. So I did purchase the Milani The Tank Eyeliner. This is a newer release from Milani. It's supposed to be a waterproof felt tip liner, and I think the whole claim with this is that you get every little drop of the product out because there's some sort of mechanism in the eyeliner that allows you to just always be able to apply your eyeliner very smoothly because it flows really nicely. So this product has pros and cons. First of all, it's a waterproof formula. It does not move. I even tested it out one more time this morning to make sure. I applied it on my hand before I jumped into the shower, and I had my hand under the water. I was rubbing it. It was not moving. I had to scrub my hand with soap to get it off. So it stays in place really well. I mean, if you take a makeup remover at the end of the night, you can get it off, but it does stay in place whether you have watery eyes or oily eyelids. I think my issue is that it's hard to apply because it comes out so quickly, and I've never experienced that with felt tip liners. I usually prefer brush tip liners because they do come out a little bit more quickly compared to felt tips, and sometimes with felt tip liners you have to drag them across the lid to get them to apply. This product just flows out so easily. And I think that's part of its claim, is that it does come out really easily. It's very dark, really dramatic, but I have a hard time with liquid liner after all this time. So if the product comes out too quickly, I make a complete mess. I'll be trying to do a light wing or a thin line, and before I know it, it's so intense and there's no going back. So weirdly enough, I just feel like I don't have enough control with this product, and I didn't think that would be the case because it is a felt tip liner. I kind of wonder if I give it a month or two to dry out, if it will be a little bit better, but because they say it has that tank mechanism or however they describe it, I just feel like it's going to apply like this the entire time. So that could be really beneficial if that's something you're looking for and you're a little bit better at eyeliner than I am, but I feel like I still mess up so often, so I just need a little bit more control. I mean, this has dried down and I am rubbing this eyeliner and it is not budging. This truly is a waterproof, long wearing liner. So I do think the actual formula is really good. I just don't love the fact that it comes out so quickly. I've also been testing out the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Uncensored. This mascara is so good. I had a feeling that I would like it because I love the original Exhibitionist mascara, and I don't know exactly what the difference is supposed to be. I think when I did my haul video, I think the back of the packaging said maybe this one is a little bit more dramatic, but I love this one because it does give your lashes a lot more drama and volume, but I do feel like it also adds length. And the original Exhibitionist mascara is so good for volume, but I don't feel like it lengthens my lashes as well. So this is the perfect all-around mascara if you want dramatic long lashes that are also voluminous. I have very naturally short, sparse lashes. If I'm not wearing mascara, it doesn't even look like I have lashes on, which is why I do love lash extensions. But this mascara really does make me feel like I have a lot of lashes and that they're long and dramatic and voluminous. So I've been enjoying this one so much. I feel like it's a little bit more of a messy application compared to the original Exhibitionist. This is a really wet formula. The brush is a little bit more spiky, so I feel like I do kind of get it all over my eyelid. I'm such a messy mascara applicator. I just end up with it everywhere. But after it dries, you just kind of wipe it away with a Q-tip and you're good to go. I just enjoy it. So if you want a really dramatic mascara, this is a great option. CoverGirl mascaras are the most affordable at Target, I believe. I was kind of price comparing it at Ulta. I think this is $12, and at Target you can get it for $8. I think I mentioned this product last month, but I have to mention it again because I've been wearing it almost every single day. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil Bronzer. I have loved this product ever since I got it in my BoxyCharm for the month of May. It is such a beautiful formula. It is the perfect summertime bronzer. It has a little bit of gold shimmer. It's very warm toned, and I never thought that I would like a warm toned bronzer as much as I do, but it just gives your skin this beautiful, sun-kissed warm glow. I just take a large fluffy brush and I blend it on my cheeks, my forehead. It blends out in 2 seconds. It's so effortless to use, and it just looks so beautiful on the skin. So I've been reaching for this one over any of my other bronzers, and I feel like that's saying a lot for me because up until I added this one to my collection, I was really only using cool toned matte bronzers, and this is the complete opposite. This is a warm bronzer with gold shimmer, and I just love it. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you have any good drugstore recommendations, warm toned bronzers that have a little bit of shimmer? Because all of the bronzers that I own are matte, cooler toned bronzers, and I would love to discover a more affordable alternative. But in the meantime, I've just been loving this one so much. Okay guys, so those are all of the products that I've been using throughout the month of June. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section below which products you've been loving, whether they are beauty related or lifestyle related. I would love to know, but I hope that you guys had an amazing month. If not, I hope that July is really great for you guys, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.